is probably the best idea right now. Whoa, don't get copyrighted. Certainly do not need that right now. Internet has gone bonkers. It does not know what it's doing. Internet has indeed gone bonkers. This is frustrating. This is like seriously frustrating. I don't think you understand how physically frustrating this is. No, not that. Okay, internet's died. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I think my stream is fine. I don't think it's lagging. Hopefully it has one death moment, and then we should be good. Hopefully. Oh, it's back. It's back. We're so back. It's back. It's back. Now, stream, stay up. If this stream does not stay up, bro, I'm going to go skits. I'm about to skits, bro.
Ride height has been presenting also the Automobile Club of Italy for the RSGP team. Reno Francott, let's go back.
Okay, I'm just going to skip ahead a bit.
Best of luck this afternoon at Reza Swerethan, and great to see the support for Will Mac on the side of your car. Thanks, mate. Reza Swerethan on the outside of the fifth row of the grid. Max Popoff, of course, the Trident Motorsport team have dominated in World Formula 3, Formula 2, and in Formula Regional for the last couple of seasons. Max Popoff was struggling with the 33 car in the dry conditions yesterday, and now I can tell you he is confident as he lines up out of grid 11 for the Trident Motorsport team. Popoff in car 33 on the sixth row of the grid, alongside El Colombiano Salim Hana. Hernandez, WSK Open Cup champion. Salim in car 88 to start on the sixth row of the grid. No better mentor than the two-time Indianapolis 500 champion, Juan Pablo Montoya, who has mentored young Salim, the Colombian driver. And we go to Jules Roussel, also with the CL Motorsport team. Jules Roussel, of course, we go back 1995. Patrice Roussel, who won the Le Mans 24-hour race in the LMP2 class in 1995. Second, in fact, third-generation racer. A quick word, if we can, with Jules Roussel. Jules, vous êtes prêt? Are you ready for this race, finally, in the rain?
Yes, I'm ready, and finally, because it was quite frustrating this morning to not drive, and now the cloud goes out, and I hope to have a great race.
Bon chance, bon course, Jules Roussel, whose grandfather actually was a rally driver in the European Rally Championship. His cousin, Leo, Le Mans champion, European Le Mans champion in 2017, and his father, Patrice, who won the LMP2 class in the Le Mans 24-hour race back in 1995, 31 years ago. We keep going back through the grid. Matteo Giacardi, the car still up on the jacks. Beautiful sunshine. I am an optimist. We've almost got blue skies and a little bit of sunshine in the background if we conveniently try and ignore the dark clouds as we look up past Eau Rouge and Haidillon. Matteo Giacardi from Monaco. A quick word with Matteo. How do you feel going into this wet race finally here this afternoon?
Honestly, I'm very excited as we didn't have the occasion to race this morning. Really looking forward to it and gaining some position and doing a good race.
Bon chance, bon course, Matteo Giacardi. Of course, 1 week out for the biggest Grand Prix in the world, the Monaco Formula 1 Grand Prix next week in the hometown, Monte Carlo of Matteo. Keep going back through the grid. Kai Darianani, car 87, also for the Trident Motorsport team. in concentration. You can see the Pirelli wet tyres here. Not a sticker set. A quick word with Kai Darianani. Kai, a lot of waiting around, a lot of Belgian waffles this morning, but finally ready to go, still on a wet track.
Yeah, of course, conditions are tricky, quite different to what we've had in practice, but I'm looking forward to this one.
Have you had much time with the car, the new car in the wet?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting car to drive. Hold on, I'm just getting a radio message, sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, copy. Yeah, we're just getting information off of the team about how the start's going to go. We've been told it's going to be behind the safety car, all these little things.
How do you feel on the wet track? Almost certainly we've got the start delayed, but a safety car start. Do you feel better about that, or did you want to race up into turn one from a standing start?
I'm happy either way, but I was hoping a little bit for a standing start.
Hi, Darianani from the Trident Motorsport team. Best of luck. We keep going back through the grid. Almost blue sky here at Spa-Francorchamps, of course, the Belgian Formula One Grand Prix taking place here later this year, before going on to an alternative basis on the calendar with Barcelona. This is Marcus Sarta. We go back to the first round of the championship when he ended in the wall. Marcus Sarta, 6 days after Martinez took victory in the Formula 2 Grand Prix in Montreal. Can you emulate your countrymen? And of course, Dennis, also racing the Indy 500. Can you come home with a good result this weekend?
Yeah, we started with the new best result in quality, so we're starting a bit higher up than usual. So yeah, I'll just try to do my best, and I like these conditions. So yeah, let's push.
Good luck, Marcus. For a small country, they have produced some superstars. Of course, Martinez taking victory in Montreal last week, and also Dennis lining up on the grid in the Indianapolis 500. Well, the track is still saturated wet, but there is blue sky in the background. We are just moments away from racing. This is race 1 in place of the reverse grid at race 2. We are going to get underway in just a few moments behind the safety car. This is race 1, round 3, the FIA Formula Regional European Championship at Spa here in Belgium. Chris, finally, we race.
Indeed, we certainly do. We're moments away from racing here this afternoon. Chris McCarthy up in the commentary box, Ian Silvestri down on pit road to bring us all the information from behind the scenes, and a good old grid walk there from Ian Silvestri as he went all the way back down to Marcus Seita, who's lining up a bit further back down on the grid. But yeah, the Formula Regional European Championship will finally get underway here with blue skies in the background, as you heard just a few moments ago. Blue skies in the background. The car's now getting ready to be sent off the grid. It will be a safety car start here. We will probably get 2 or 3 laps, maybe even 4 laps under the safety car here before, of course, we do go racing for the Formula Regional European Championship. Or it could be less. It could be 1 or 2 laps, depending on how the safety car driver and how race control feel the conditions are. There is Renault Franco on the grid, getting his focus dialed in for the start of this race. It's going to be a very interesting race indeed, but there will be a few main contenders in this one, a few key things that we'll have to watch out for. Spray, of course, that push to pass is deactivated in the rain, so you cannot use that extra 25 horsepower. It is genuinely a safety risk in itself, so you cannot use that push to pass here throughout the week. And of course, possibly, if the track dries enough, which is very unlikely, you can see there's still standing water off the outside of the circuit, and you wouldn't expect it dries in just over 30 minutes of racing. There, look, that is Kin Nakamura-Berta, Japanese-American driver, lining up on the outside row in position number 3. Kin Nakamura-Berta, of course, in Zandvoort had a bit of a challenge in itself for having blowers on the car during qualifying. They contested that. It became successful. They did not get a penalty for it, meaning he kept his position in race number 1. It was a very tough weekend for Kin Nakamura-Berta. Just think back to race number 1 where he finished P13. There on the left-hand side of your grid is the starting grid. Munoz lining up on the first row of the grid, followed by then Rashid Al-Daheri. Then it's Kin Nakamura on the second row of the grid. Sebastian Weldon, followed by then Alex Ninovich, Yuki Sano, Gabriel Gomez lining up in position 7. Emmanuel Olivieri, Gomez best qualifying position this season. And you'd think the Italian F4 reigning champion, the second place reigning champion, lining up in position 7. You wouldn't think that's his best qualifying position so far this season. Certainly not. And then, of course, Rahim Al-Badi lining up a bit further back down the grid. Olivieri, then Reno Franco, and it's Reza Sawerthan, Maximilian Popov, Salim Hanna, Jules Russell, Matteo Gigardi, Kai Darianani, Marcus Sater, Giovanni Maschio, Zenucci, Andrea Kostic, Thomas Doltramanes, Jan Perezowski, Dion Gauda, Miguel Acosta, Andrea Duke, Kabir Anurag, Alexander Abkazava, down in position 26. Thomas Draverne at his home race this weekend. Then it's Francisco Medico lining up in position 28. A bit further back down the grid, we look, it is Rahim Al-Badi and then, of course, Sakir Al-Muserji in position 30. Watch out for those drivers that seem strong further back down the grid. Alexander Abkazava, watch out for him further back down the grid to make positions. Cars set off on their formation lap here for 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. The drivers will set off on what will be 2 of 3 formation laps. I could only imagine 2 or 3 formation laps that these drivers will get. Of course, due to the schedule that we are running here this weekend at the Spa Euro weekend, only really technically 1 lap under this formation lap. And then, of course, the race will start on the second lap. But we are, of course, behind that safety car for a good 2 or 3 laps. But you can see, compared to race number 1, we have had races out there in between. We've had a few GT cars. We've had Supercar Challenge out there for qualifying and free practice. And, of course, as well, we've had the Caterhams out there. They were just out there before. And they got their full race in as well. So the track is definitely drying. But there's still a whole load of spray. And that is mainly just because there was a big downpour during the Caterham race, which just sort of soaked the track again. And it wasn't raining before as we head down now to Ian Savastri.
Chris, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it is almost sunshine here at Spa in Belgium. It was torrential not 25 minutes ago, but there is blue sky in the background. The track's still wet. Of course, safety is a concern. We are under the direction of our race director, Mr. Tomás Zetner Jr., Deputy Race Director, Mr. Dino Lottler, and Sebastian Martin representing the FIA. A quick word this morning with the FIA driver advisor and the president of the Single-Seater Commission for the FIA, Mr. Emanuele Pirro. There were 2 questions in the reconnaissance laps this morning. How was the grip? Yeah, that was self-explanatory. There was none. And what was the visibility like? For the moment, yes, there's a lot of spray. We look as though we will finally get underway and race this weekend here at Spa in Belgium. For the moment, it is not raining. The track is saturated, but we have finally got a raceable track here this afternoon.
Indeed, this is going to be very, very interesting indeed here this afternoon. What can Alexander Munoz do from position 1 on the grid? He had his opportunity this morning. He said it was quite frustrating that he couldn't start the race, his best opportunity, but now he gets that second opportunity from pole position, but alongside a few very, very quick drivers as well. So he's just going to be careful of that. Of course, race number 3 this afternoon, which will technically turn into race number 2 of the weekend, will be determined by a second qualifying session. And hopefully by then, a bit later on today, the track will be a little bit drier. So the driver's trying to now put temperature through the tyres. Alexander Munoz lining up in position 1. Rashid Al-Daheri, the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy champion, lines up alongside him. Then, of course, on the outside, second row of the grid, it is Kin Nakamura. Look there. That looks like a dry circuit almost as the cars made their run through. So that's very interesting. Circuit almost looks dry as they make their run up towards the chicane. It definitely almost does look dry here, ladies and gentlemen. Very much indeed. As once more my internet looks to be a little bit annoying. Oh my golly gosh. But the internet is actually crazy. The actual internet issues is crazy. Oh my god. Come on, internet. Luckily, I'm using my data and not the internet, otherwise I'd have to reset my stream again. And that is just annoying. And I'm certainly not doing that. Oh, please don't do that. No, oh my god. Are you okay? Not a safe flippin' heck. Stupid Bluetooth. It is that one. Why did it disconnect? I hate how it disconnects like that. It's freaking annoying. Anyways, oh my god. Flippin' heck, go away. Okay, so the car's now making their run through the final couple of corners, which is turn 18, turn 19. And now the race will get underway, technically now under safety car conditions. And still, look, the spray heading down towards turn number 1. So there will certainly be no issues with tyres overheating. But you can see, especially now into turn number 1, the track definitely looks dry up to this point. It almost definitely looks like it's drying out here so far, so we'll see how that plays out for these drivers as the safety car leads the field around for once more another lap. How grip will be, you can see that Alexander Munoz looking to the outside of the circuit as he tries to find a little bit of grip as we headed up now to the commentary booth.
These are the ones they did behind the safety car earlier, and there was a lot of standing water around. At that point, they were having to take it very, very easily just to get round. So this is going to be
internet issues is not good.
20 drivers, their first race at this circuit.
Thank you, Chris McCarthy. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome in. Good to see you back, my friend. Good to see you back. Indeed, good to see you back. A few internet issues to start this stream, which is not ideal. Not ideal indeed. First racing action of the weekend. I mean, unless you count Australian F4, this is the first racing action, the Formula Regional European Championship. If you have read the title, Race 1, technically Race 1, got rained out. And now, this is Race 1. And again, thank you to the Belgium crew down there, the Spa-Francorchamps crew, for putting this back on with us. Due to the tight schedule that the Spa-Euro weekend runs, they've been able to fit in another race for the Formula Regional European Championship here. So we do get racing, but that means Race 2 will be cancelled. This technically sets back as Race 1. Race 2 is cancelled. This is the scheduled time for Race 2, but it's been cancelled. This is now Race 1. And of course, qualifying will be later on today from 5:55. So in just over about 8 hours' time, we'll be going qualifying. And then, of course, race number 3 tomorrow from 3:30 local time. So it should be very interesting indeed. Ian Silvestri is down on pit road, and up in the World Feed commentary box, it is Chris McCarthy as well, the expert F2 and F3 commentator up there in the commentary box. But Alexander Munoz gets his second shot at pole position. Then it's of course Rachel Albaheri here as the track absolutely drenched. And Ian Silvestri said a few moments ago in the pit report that he did that there's sunshine, which we haven't seen all day here at Belgium. Very rare indeed. You think back to yesterday during practice day, it was 40 degrees, sunshine, no thought of any rain. And of course, it tumbles down here this afternoon in what has been an extremely wet weekend. A safety car pulls away and we'll get some racing action here, ladies and gentlemen. But you would think back to yesterday, 40-degree day. People were saying it's hot. Now it's 9 degrees track temperature, 14 degrees ambient, and, well, it's absolutely pouring it down. The rain, of course, stopped just over 25 minutes ago. The track is drying, and we're going to get some racing for the Formula Regional European Championship. So there you go. There's your update, Elizabeth, and what has been an absolutely crazy week. Still to come, though, there's still Australian F4, and then, of course, we'll be going racing once more for the Formula Regional European Championship. Alexandre Munoz chooses when to go as he makes his way down the Camel Straight and up towards turn 18 and turn 19. Then, of course, we'll apply the power. Green flag, and that is amazing. And for the second time through the whole weekend, green flag racing, we put pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 as Alexandre Munoz puts his pedal to the floor, and now will make his run up towards turn 17. Flick the car in through towards now turn 18. The track is drying, and we're racing for the Formula Regional European Championship. Munoz will make his run now down towards turn number 1. Spray being kicked up and very low visibility in the early race, in the early phases of this race. Now, look, they make their run down towards turn number 1. Then the run towards Rouge and Radion. The final couple of cars now making their run towards turn 1. Munoz leads on the exit of turn 1 and up towards Rouge. What is nearly 800 metres in elevation. Munoz once more makes his run up towards Rouge. Very good start indeed. You can see the spray there from all the cars as they've kicked it up as they try and find a bit of space on the track. As you can see there, look, Sebastian Weldon. He's just sort of dropped off the back of King Nakamura Burton. That's mainly due to visibility there. Rashid Al-Lahiri now to the outside of the circuit. Late under brakes. Can he get the move done? No, he cannot. They're going to be side by side now as they make the run up towards turn 4, turn 5. Not going to happen there for Rashid Al-Lahiri. And now King Nakamura Burton, who has more or less the awful spot to be in of 2 cars worth of spray just up in front of him. Now, in towards the braking zone. Now goes King Nakamura Burton. Can he get around the outside? No, he cannot. Now, in this sort of situation, you would think that there's more grip on the inside of the road. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there certainly isn't, because that's where all the rubber's down. That's where all of the rubber has been laid down throughout the weekend. So more or less the outside of the road would have more grip. So now they make the run down towards No Name. And then in towards the fast Piff Paff on the circuit. And now side by side there, that look is Salim Hanna and Maximilian Popov as they make the run towards Piff Paff. Literally, it's named Piff Paff. You turn left, then flick right once more. There, that's Salim Hanna round the outside and side by side there with Jules Russell. Can he get that move done? In towards Piff Paff and out the other side. I think he can contact slightly there. As they made their run through, that's Kai Darianani in behind. It's Jules Russell and Matteo Giugati. Apologies for that. 13th, 14th, and 15th that battle. But Munoz leading out in front. 23.5 minutes remaining. Half a second the margin back to Rashid Al-Lahiri. Then, of course, it's King Nakamura Burton and Sebastian Weldon. Then look in the background. It's Alex Ninovic and Yuki Sano, the Japanese driver, in position 6. Leading the rookie class, though, it is Gabriel Gomez, who you think in Italian F4 was the second place champion in that championship. Very, very competitive. And he's currently in a battle for second or the lead. And there's a problem now. And that's Reza Subwerthan going up the inside in towards the chicane on Olivieri. Gets that move done. Applies the power. Sideways there, Olivieri. He gets the move done, though. Very nicely done. And Reza Subwerthan now displaces Olivieri and puts a bit of a gap between Gomez and Olivieri. Between 7th and 9th. Reza Subwerthan moves himself up. And a P8 contact in towards the Rouge. In the background and up into the grass. In the first part of a Rouge. That was definitely contact. In the background down there. Off the road. Into the grass. There in the background. And we'll get confirmation as to who that is for you, ladies and gentlemen. But there was definitely contact. Replay. Bang! Who was that? I wonder. Not ideal at all. There is contact in towards the Rouge. Definitely not something you would expect. But again, with such low grip conditions, the Road and Motorsport car going a bit deep in towards the fast right-hander, and then in towards No Name. And making his run out the other side there, Alexander Munoz, 1.3 seconds the margin. Back to Rashid Al-Daheri. Kinaka Morberto, you can definitely tell the difference it makes in terms of the racing style, with, of course, without that extra 25 horsepower of push to pass being available. Again, it is a safety concern. If you have that extra 25 horsepower and you apply it a bit too early, then you might end up spearing off the road, and it's definitely not a good thing to have. So that, of course, the FIA Race Control have decided to disable that in this race due to the wet weather conditions. As now Munoz pulls away, 1.3 seconds the gap, just over 20 minutes to go. Kinaka Morberto right up on the rear bumper of Rashid Al-Daheri. Can he put a move through towards turn 17 and turn 18 in towards the chicane to the outside of the road where possibly a bit more grip is. Can't get the move done. Al-Daheri once more covering towards the final corner now. And now in towards turn number 1. You can see there Munoz moving to the outside of the road, trying to find a little bit of water there to try and cool down those wet weather tyres. You can see the spray being kicked up evidently in towards turn number 1 now. Goes Kinaka Morberto, looks for a move. Not going to happen that time around. See, there's more cars run around on this circuit. The drier the circuit gets, you can definitely see there's a dry line forming in towards turn number 1 now. Munoz, Arouge, Radion executes once more. 19 minutes, 55 seconds to go. Very much that different style of racing in this one. Munoz once more moving to the outside of the road. Down the Camel Straight. And once more in towards turn number 4 and turn number 5. Kinaka Morberto to the outside of the road. Not going to happen. Some of the drivers said in the press conference a few moments ago, before this race started, that it's going to be interesting to see how the racing will turn out in terms of with no push to pass. Some of the drivers did say that, how the racing would turn out. It seems as if now Munoz is starting to pull away. Fast lap of the race as the track continues to dry out. Now in towards the hairpin fast right. Turn 7. And then now drop down in towards No Name. This, the highest point of the circuit. Al-Daheri now being pressurised by Kinaka Morberto. Of course, the reigning Italian F4 champion looks to be the... Of course, was the reigning Formula Regional European... Not the Formula Regional European. Formula Regional Middle Eastern champion of 2024. 2025 went on and competed in the Italian F4 Championship. Won that in style. With Gabriel Gomez DNFing on the formation lap. There, speak of the devil, Gabriel Gomez battling with Olivieri. Resistant Worthen got by Gomez, so very nicely done. Safety car. Safety car has been deployed, and why has that been? Safety car, here, ladies and gentlemen, has been deployed, and as to why that's happened, immediately radios start to light up here as engineers tell the drivers safety car has been deployed. Possibly the engineers might know a little bit more than what the TV coverage does. But safety car has been deployed. It's come up on race control feed as well. And actually unknown at the moment as to why there's a car that could possibly be stopped or possibly even be in a barrier. Or, in this instance, possibly a bit of debris on the road. A bit of front wing. Something like that. So safety car has been deployed, and once more the race will be neutralised by the Porsche Cayman safety car. Special livery this year, and we've got a tow truck out on circuit. Possibly a car into the barrier towards No Name. Why is that? And there is definitely a car in the barrier. You can see there the safety crew down towards No Name. Dion Gauda has just dropped down on our timing screens. The 75 of Dion Gauda into the barrier down there at No Name. So just saw Dion Gauda flick through our timing screens there on the left-hand side of your screen. You saw Dion Gauda dropping down the timing screens, or it could be Rahim Al-Badi, but of course Rahim Al-Badi was starting position 30, But it's definitely Dion Gowder down in the fence at no name. Of course, we'll get confirmation as to who that is once, of course, the driver is okay. It is definitely Dion Gowder in the fence down there, the 55 car. The Indian driver out of this race. That is very unfortunate there for himself. But yeah, safety car deployed in this one. There is Gabriel Gomez. Just before the safety car, I think, was overtaken by Emmanuel Olivieri. So very nicely done and very well timed. Just over 16 and a quarter minutes to go. Intervestry down on pit road as well. We've got Chris McCarthy up in the commentary box, the F2 and F3 expert for 2026. Of course, was replaced by the former F2 and F3 expert. Can't remember his name, but he did F1 Esports just a few weeks ago. Dion Gowder there in the background. That must have been a heavy impact because he was on top of the barrier. He was climbing off the top of the barrier down there, so that is definitely a hefty impact. And reasons known as to why we can't show that. We saw the driver hopping out of the car. Hopefully we can get a replay in.
It's not a good afternoon, as we've just seen for Dion Gowder, who's parked at the side of the circuit. It looks as though the Indians driver weekend or day certainly is over. We tried to get a quick word with Danielle Clear, who is the team manager for the Barnum Sport Racing team, and she understandably said, yeah, not at the moment. So we'll try and get an update directly. Dion, we believe, is okay, the car to a stop on the side of the circuit. The good news, though, Chris, look at that. The sun's shining. It is actually warm incredibly. Well, it can change it very quickly here in Spa. The chance of slick tyres. How much do we have? Half the race left to go. It's actually possible because it's actually getting warm. Unlikely, but we may see a frantic pit stop race towards the end of the race, or a charge into the pits. We have to feel for Alex Munoz for the Arc Grand Prix team. He had a lead of 1.9 seconds. It now evaporates, but the French driver, the rookie, still does hold the race lead. Dion Gowder out of race one. Chris?
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, but how exciting this race would get if we saw pit stops. Wow, that would definitely excite this race just a little bit more. Correction, by the way, it's not a Porsche Cayman safety car. It is a Toyota GR Cup safety car. I stand corrected. Apologies for that. It only stands suit because, of course, this year, Toyota-derived engines in the back of these F4 cars with the new Tortoise. Actually, I have to look at my notes here because it is quite a name indeed. The new chassis, the Tortoise T2. The Tortoise T2. Wow. Tortoise T326 with a Toyota-derived engine in the back of these cars. Wow, that's shocking. Maybe I do need to work on my lip reading before streams. Maybe. Awful. Shocking. 13.5 minutes to go left in this one. Crew's down there on the pit wall as they try and possibly think of a way, as they're the VAR team and as well the engineer of Dion Gowder, looking not exactly in an ideal space or a headspace at the moment. You heard Ian Silvestri say a few moments ago, possibly trying to get a chat with her. But again, having to make sure Dion Gowder's okay, make sure the updates with the car and all that sort of stuff. We did see Dion Gowder hop out of the car, so she won't be getting updates for the moment until, of course, Dion Gowder gets back to pit wall. So an update with how this season has gone so far. We have, at the moment, Sebastian Weldon win both races, back last round at Zandvoort. Let's head down to Ian Silvestri.
I have found the man who is responsible for putting so many single-seater racing cars on the track around the world. Not only the Tata's Formula 4 car, but the new Tata's 326 car. We'll do this in Italian and translate back with Mr. Gianfranco De Bellis. È una bella partenza con la nuova macchina, la terza gara nel campionato europeo, ma nonostante le condizioni...
Wow.
Ecco, arriva un bel
I want to speak Italian.
Tutto sta andando bene.
I wish I could.
Notwithstanding the conditions, the man who's put more cars on the circuit, third race for the new car, everything going well.
Sì, fortunatamente sta andando tutto bene, siamo molto contenti della partenza di
I want to speak Italian. Can you see? That's so cool. Isn't it?
Molto lavoro hanno svolto i team che si sono sempre dimostrati molto professionali, quindi qualche piccolo conveniente,
can't
una
understand
macchina
what he's saying.
completamente nuova, però sta andando molto bene. Oggi le condizioni meteo, fortunatamente adesso è uscito un po' di sole, purtroppo non abbiamo potuto disputare la prima gara.
Put this race together, something like that. Ads have ruined it. Very good. Ruined the vibe.
Perché le condizioni erano veramente molto critiche, quindi mi è sembrato giusto cancellarle dalla bandiera rossa, e adesso ci aspettiamo, dopo la ripartenza dietro safety car, degli ultimi giri molto validi. Hanno anche grazie ai pneumatici Pirelli, che sulla pioggia penso si stanno dimostrando molto validi per questi ragazzi. Non è facile, perché sicuramente qua hanno provato in condizioni di asciutto.
These sorts of things happen. I can only understand a few things about it.
So basically, recapping what Mr. Gianfranco Di Bellis of Tartas has said, yes, everybody at the factory at Monza has put in so much work. This is the third race for the new car in the European Championship. Notwithstanding the conditions, everyone is very satisfied with the performance of the new car, and let's hope they bring it home safely. E la prossima gara giocate in casa. The next race is a home race, perché corriamo a Monza.
Sì, la prossima gara è sulla nostra pista, la nostra azienda è nata grazie a Monza, quindi per noi quando si corre a Monza è sempre un evento speciale, e quindi aspettiamo veramente questa gara di Monza, perché è sempre la pista da dove tutto è partito, quindi è impossibile non avere un sentimento molto forte con il circuito di Monza.
Thank you, we'll have to leave it there. We are back racing now. Thank you, we'll have to leave it there because Munoz is now going to get us back.
Munoz now getting us back underway. Thank you so much, Ian. There, Munoz getting us back underway. Green flag racing continues here this afternoon, and it's Rashid Al-Daheri, Munoz, King Nakamura Berta. Munoz leading out in front as he tries to find a bit of water on the inside of the circuit, down towards the braking zone now. Keen Nakamura Berta in position 3, continues to apply the pressure. As now the field spreads back out again to the inside of the road, down towards turn number 1, and now to the outside of the road there, Gomez and Olivier Arias, they try battle for the lead in the rookie class. Up towards the Rouge and Radion once more. And continuing their run, just over 9.5 minutes to go in this race, as possibly a frantic little pit stop race might be happening at the end of this one. Very unknown indeed. Just over 9.5 minutes to go now. Under braking there, Rashid Al-Daheri. King Nakamura down towards the chicane. They go once more. Can King Nakamura together with Dunn? No, he cannot. He slots back into third, knowing that possibly the outside run in towards the Tamburello chicane might not end very well. Very nicely done. Now towards the right hand up. And once more, my internet decides to be a poop nugget. Can you see my pain, Elizabeth? Can you see it? Can you see my pain? Can you see my pain yet? My pain. It's painful. This is painful. This is very, very painful. And it's like slight little dropouts as well. Like my internet drops out for like half a millisecond as well. It's so annoying. It drops out for like a millisecond. Oh, now it's fully dead. Now it's just decided to fully die. Yep, very helpful. Thank you, internet. Oh, now it's back. See? It drops out for like half a millisecond and then just comes back. It could have just stayed up, you know. It could have. It just could have stayed up. You see my pain? My pain is awful. It's awful.
From Nakamura Berta, but what a defence from Al-Daheri. Keeps the place, and they remain as they are. Heading down to the Brussels hairpin now. Weldon in fourth is under attack from...
It's currently under attack by Yuki Sano as they make their run towards the hairpin once more. In behind Yuki Sano, then it's Alex Ninovich and Reza Sawerthan in position 7. Munoz leads down in front. Half a second as they try and find a bit of water on the outside of the circuit down there. in towards the braking zone once more. Just over 8.5 minutes to go left in this race. As now braking to the inside of the road there, Munoz. Half a second back to Aldeheri, then it's King Nakamura. Possibly a bit of momentum loss there from King, running right to the outside of the road as they all sit line astern through the second sector. Now, once more, down the back straight, as they're to the inside of the road there. Being pressurised, Jules Russell to the outside of the road, right around the outside. Can he get the move done? No, he cannot. And that is Jules Russell off the road down there. Safety car has been deployed once more. That is definitely Jules Russell off the road down there in towards on the exit of Piff Paff. Safety car has been deployed, and that is why Zenril Chi off the road, who was doing an absolutely amazing race. Jules Russell parked off the outside of the road down there. I'll get confirmation as to where that possibly could be on the circuit. Possibly making a run through turn 12, 13, through Piff Paff. Maybe even out of the exit of turn 14. Of course, it's a third gear corner in an F1 car. Possibly maybe even second or third gear for these Tortoise T326 cars. 7.25 minutes to go. So, Jules Russell drops down the grid as well with Zenril Chi, which is why we are under safety car. He's buried himself in the gravel. Just over 7 minutes to go as they make the run towards turn number 1. Radion up through towards Lake Com as well. Through left and right. Offers up a bit of a overtaking opportunity. Jules Russell, better contact, and that's what's forced him off the road down towards, actually on the exit of turn 15. That is Zenril Chi, actually stuck in the gravel up towards turn number 8. So on the exit of turn 8, so that was Puon. Pardon? Yeah, so turn 8, that's Puon, where of course we see Zenril Chi off the road as they make their run towards Lake Com once more. So that's very unfortunate there. So drivers now make their run towards Lake Com, the other side, and then you'll drop down towards Puon, then No Name. And through Campus, Curve, Paul Lefrere, the high-speed return for all the drivers. Then through Blanchimont, nearly 310 k's an hour in an F1 car. Here, probably maxing out probably 220 k's an hour still through Blanchimont. Very, very fast part of the circuit. You go off the road there, and it could probably end a whole weekend. Just over 5.5 minutes to go. Zenril Chi now being pulled out of the gravel. 5.25 minutes to go now as the time continues to tick. See a dry line forming very, very nicely down on the exit of No Name. So definitely this race will not go to dry tyres. We'll definitely stay on those treaded blocked tyres, of which is their Zenril Chi now being pulled out of the gravel, and in the process leaves a bit of gravel on the road down there. Luckily, it is off the racetrack, so we'll not have to sweep any of that up. But Zenril Chi will be warned by those marshals there. Don't drop any of it on the racing line as much as, yes, there isn't a racing line that's formed. But where the cars would most likely be going, Zenril Chi would know where that racing line is. I think Jules Russell was able to rejoin. Yes, he was. I think he's down in position 27 in behind Saka Almasergi. So that's very interesting. And Francisco Medico out of this race, along with Dylan Gowder and Zenril Chi. So 3 cars out of this race. We've got 27 cars remaining. Jules Russell dropped right to the back of the grid after his off moment. As we're down to Ian in pit lane.
I've never made it down to. That is a very famous circuit. That is the Spa-Francorchamps kart circuit, where Jos the Boss learned to race cars in the early 1980s. That's Max's father and his mother, Sophie. It's actually around at the Belgian Championships taking place today. Yes, we will have a one-lap sprint to the checkered flag here in race one. Another full course yellow lap. I cannot tell you how warm it is in this incredible conditions. This circuit is certainly famous for it. Behind me, the Seal Motorsport team, who took victory at the Red Bull Ring in the first round with Reno Pro, but that's not a good afternoon for the driver. Good afternoon for the driver for the Netherlands. Reno front bot going very wide, and that has ruined his chances after questionable contact. Just a few laps ago, what about the Aston Martin Junior G, who's parked into the gravel, and that has brought out the safety car. It looks as though it is a very long lap here. It's 2 minutes 13, 2 minutes 15 in ideal conditions. We're lapping at around about 2:33. So a very long lap, of course, one lap of Spa. This circuit, 7,004 metres, not to mention the old circuit, which was almost 20 kilometres in length, going down to the old town of Malmedy. So basically, let's summarise, it will be a one-lap sprint at best to the checker flag of race one. I can't believe I'm saying this. Beautiful sunshine here at Spa on a sunny Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, well, then you compare that. That means Le Mans is nearly 12 kilometres of circuit. And then you add it up, probably another, it'd have to be maybe 30 kilometres, the Nürburgring Nordschleife, I think. And continues down the pit lane.
Any activity down there in pit lane, or any word from the team of Van Amersfoort as to what might happen?
Let's just say they weren't in the most talkative mood. We did try and get a word with them, but it certainly was not the right time. We'll catch up with them after the race. It looks as though it was they were just victims of the conditions here. The drivers are both fine, but not a good afternoon for Van Amersfoort, which is almost a second home race for them. Of course, Van Amersfoort from the outskirts of Amsterdam in the Netherlands, not too far from Zandvoort, where we raced 6 days ago here in Belgium across the border. 2 drivers now in the first of what is likely to only be now 2 races here this weekend. We'll try and bring you an update for tomorrow morning before we qualify again here at Spa.
Thank you, Ian. Down on pit road as he continues the live updates down there from pit lane. Minute and a half to go left in this one. We might get 1 racing lap, so that extra added lap that the FIA, of course, permitted. Back down to Ian.
Certainly, we're almost getting close to a full Grand Prix distance, of course. 3 30-minute races, 2 qualifying sessions. Qualifying yesterday in beautiful conditions on a dry circuit. Race 1 this morning, we're effectively racing now. Race 2, 30 minutes, and then we go again tomorrow. So effectively, a complete reset, as you say, regardless of what happens yesterday and today. Qualifying tomorrow morning, and we race again. What is effectively the final for race 3? It's not the same format for every round. 8 rounds, some with 3 races, some with 2. Of course, we go to the next round. That's at the home of the Italian Formula 1 Grand Prix at Monza. That's the next round of the championship. And then we go to the Hungaroring in Budapest, where incidentally, half the paddock is distracted because, of course, tonight the Champions League between Arsenal and another team. I know there's 2 drivers on the grid, particularly one who's leading this race. Who is, yes, I wasn't going to say the name, but there's one driver who is leading this race, hoping that the team from the French capital takes victory tonight in the Champions League. But back to the final lap of the race, race 1 here in the Formula Regional European Championships. Chris?
Should be a very interesting final lap here. Can Rashid Al-Daheri put any pressure? Again, he's been pressured by King Nakamura in this race. What you would expect this season. 2 drivers to be in championship contention. Can that stay that way? We're back to the final lap of racing here. 10 laps will be completed throughout the course of this race. And Alexandre Munoz now makes his run up towards the chicane and braking towards the final corner. In towards now for Alexandre Munoz. Out of Blanchimont and up towards the Ratifilia chicane once more. Final lap gets underway for the Formula Regional European Championship. Race number 1. It's been some pretty good action as they make their way down towards turn number 1. La Source once more. Now they're looking to the outside of the road there. Rashid Al-Daheri looking for a move. There was a bit of spray being kicked up in the background. Hopefully there's not a car on the fence just before they hit La Source. I don't think there is. We would get a yellow flag out if there was to be that case. You see a dry line forming as they make the run up towards Rouge. Righty on. Then in towards left-right, of which is Lecombe. To the outside of the road, Rashid Al-Dahiri. There's no push to pass, but he's going to take the opportunity of a slipstream. To the outside of the road, can Rashid Al-Dahiri get the move done? There in the background, Sebastian Weldon covering off the back of Yuki Sano. Can they go side by side? Can Rashid Al-Dahiri get the move done? No, he cannot. We've seen that move unsuccessful with King Nakamura, but as he tried to do the same thing that Rashid Al-Dahiri just did to Munoz. Now, as they make their run down towards the right-hander, which is Puon. Can he get the move done? No, he cannot. Slide sideways as he tries to find the grip. King Nakamura better right up the inside. Nearly made contact with the Asmarine driver. Through No Name. Then the fast left-hander. Through Puon and then Gosh as well. Campus. Through the right-hander. The top three sitting the line and stern. Then through Piff Paff. The braking zone for Piff Paff. Very, very important. You don't want to go deep into here. Munoz covering. Lucky not to move in the braking zone. He's deep into Piff Paff. As I was saying that, Rashid Al-Dahiri now up the inside. They're side by side on the exit of Piff Paff. Can they get the move done? No, he cannot. Rashid Al-Dahiri sticks in behind. Again, the best opportunity on the exit here. If you get the move done, set off exit of Piff Paff. And of course up towards Blanchimont, where you could possibly get a move done. And is now sitting in the slipstream. Rashid Al-Dahiri, right on the rear bumper of Alexandra Munoz. Closing. No push to pass, but there's definitely slipstream coming into play. There to the inside of the road. Rashid Al-Dahiri looks to the outside now, into the chicane. Who's going to be late on the brakes? A bit of a squirm in the rear end for Rashid Al-Dahiri. But I think it might have just been enough for Alexandra Munoz. He's gone deep and covered. Rashid Al-Dahiri to the outside of the road. He's going to squeeze him way up the curb. King Nakamura about to get the advantage. No, he can't. But it's going to be Munoz who wins by 1/10 of a second to Rashid Al-Dahiri. And then it's King Nakamura, Berta, and Yuki Sano. Followed by then Sebastian Weldon, Olivieri, Ninovic, Rasta Wortham, Gomez. Pop off your top 10. What a race. To round out race number 1 of the Formula Regional European Championship, I did say at that safety car restart, can Rashid Al-Dahiri put any pressure? Boy, oh boy, did he put pressure. He got a good run on the exit of Piff Paff, and this was the actual, into Lacombe, was the best opportunity Rashid Al-Dahiri got. He was side by side, and he was squeezed up the curb a little bit, and he knew the curbs definitely don't have as much grip as what he probably would have desired. He couldn't get that move done, unfortunately, and now the cars make their run back towards the paddock. Munoz, Al-Dahiri, and King Nakamura about to turn right down towards the podium, and the podium celebrations, of course, get underway. But wow, what a race that was. We might get a quick word with Munoz here about how his race went. Munoz, the French driver, though, plugs the steering wheel back into the chassis and will be P1 at the end of race number 1.
Now win this season, and that will put him into the lead of the rookie standings. Out of the car he climbs, and Alexandra Munoz takes the win here at Spa. The first race of the weekend goes to the young French driver, and look at what it means to him. The driver competing in French F4 last season, coming up to the championship, and now he's put it on pole position and taken a lights to flag victory in very, very difficult conditions. You wouldn't have had a rookie down winning this race, but he held off the experienced Rashid Al-Dahiri behind. And what confidence that will give Alexandra Munoz going forward this season. A huge congratulations to him and to the whole team at ART Grand Prix as well. Nakamura Berta, another podium for him now. That is 3 this season. Likewise for Rashid Al-Dahiri, a 3rd podium for him as well. He's just going to get his crash helmet off, and Ian Silvestrin is ready to speak to a new winner in the FIA Formula Regional European Championship. It is Alexandra Munoz. Ian, down to you.
Good Lord. It's like rain, rain, go away. But you turn that to ads.
Quelle victoire! What an incredible race! What a victory! What emotion! Alex Munoz, how did you do that? What an incredible victory, particularly on the final lap.
Yeah, it was incredible all the way. All the race we had a great pace. Only the last lap was a bit tricky with Rashid. It was really close, but yeah, at the end that's a victory. So yeah, really happy.
So pole position and the victory. This is a perfect weekend. Despite the rain, it's actually working out for you. How was the car despite the conditions?
It was amazing. The RG car is like flying on the rain all the time. So yeah, thanks to the team, they did an incredible job this season. We are working really hard and we improved after round. So yeah, we're really happy. And yeah, that's it.
Super, félicitations, le vainqueur ici, Alex Munoz. Congratulations, the race one winner, Alex Munoz for our Grand Prix. We'll see you on the podium.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian, the French F4 champion there, proving why
he is probably going to be more or less a championship contender at the best of times there. There's Ken Alberto as well in the background for the Prema team. But that wraps up our coverage for the Formula Regional European Championship. Race number 1, qualifying later on today from 5:55 with race start tomorrow. Race number 3, getting underway from 3:30. But we'll catch you a bit later on today. But up next, though, it is Australian F4 Race 2 and Race 3. The next lot of action here with a lunch break in between. But qualifying from 5:55. Catch up this afternoon. Until then, it's bye-bye.
watch the first race of the weekend. It's really starting to brighten up here now. We didn't get many laps. Nakamura Berta, in Alexandra Munoz. For now, from myself, Chris McCarthy, Ian Savage Street. Goodbye.